I'm here with Terry Miller, the executive over Life Sciences Center of Excellence. So, first question has to be Centricity. Tell us a little bit about it, how it came about, and what is it?
So, Chad, great question, and I will say one of my most exciting areas in years being with the organization. During COVID, we decided to formalize our Life Science Center of Excellence. We had already had a Life Science Center of Excellence with our M&E group, our meetings and events, and we decided to kind of jump on that bandwagon because this is our space. This is an area that we're very strong in, and we have very passionate people around this space. But what were we not touching was the patients. And it's interesting when you work with the life science sector, or a lot of times the pharma sector, or even the medical device, what ends up happening in that space is they'll always say patients first. You have to look at that. And so we started to look at that and thought, okay, what is it we can do to help in this environment? Whether it's clinical trials or it's getting people into a space that, whether it's a cancer treatment type of thing. And people are scared. They don't know how to go about it. They financially can't do it. You hear of companies like a St. Jude, right? Where they pay for it all. And so we thought, this is one. Obviously, it's an opportunity for us. But two, it's like, how do we actually come up with these services and these platforms to be able to help this? So, we literally have nurses on staff now who actually help patients through a process of beginning to end. And that's just a small part of it, but it's a very big part of it. And, I will tell you, it was interesting. Just the other day, I had to transport my father from a rehab to their new home because he is wheelchair bound now. And there are services, you don't even know these services exist, and there is a transport services for wheelchair people. And I took the guy's name and number and said, we're going to add you to our portfolio. But it's one of those, they lift them into the van and they get them to where they need, they get them all comfortable. These are amazing services for people. There is not a person out there that doesn't have some form or fashion that need this in their life, if not today, eventually. And so, we just thought, what? This is a great opportunity for us to be able to service that community.
And Terry, I know we have a lot of solutions, and you mentioned some of the services and partners that are available for patient travel and patient families as they experience all of this, right?
So, well, as I mentioned, the transport, I will also say within our solutions guide, we have our new invite, right, which is the whole guest manager, your guest travel, which is absolutely going to help in this particular space. There's some things we've been building around this, which, thanks to our technology team. And when you think about there's payment plans, because I'll give you a good example. People can't afford it, right? And so when you're actually entering into whether it's a clinical trial or a program, right, there are payment services that will literally allow prepaid cards to take all that burden off the table. That truly does help that patient go from beginning to end. And by the way, their families, because the burden on their families is horrible, And so I think that you're going to see more and more in this space, because people are going to realize just how important it is. And don't get me wrong, there are other companies, but not in the travel space. What we also bring to it, for example, are the corporate discounts. So when you think about the different companies that are out there, right? Whether it's medical device or it's within the pharma industry, when you look at that, what we can bring from beginning to end, nobody else can do. And so that is why, once again, I will say our solutions will continue to be able to be plugged and played in different areas of this. But I think the next big one is going to be on the payment side.